What's going on, guys? Welcome back to some more Avatar standard content here on the channel. And guess what? We have found a new Splinter Twin combo in standard, as if there wasn't already enough of them. And we're going to be taking a look at that deck today. Now, you might ask yourself, Splinter Twin. So what does that mean, right? Traditionally, it's sort of an A plus B. You assemble A plus B and you make some sort of infinite. Well, not entirely infinite with this deck, but hear me out, okay? Turn 3, or perhaps turn 2, you cast Lumbering World Wagon. It's a vehicle that has power equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever it enters or attacks, you can search for a basic. Okay, step 1. Step 2, next turn, before you play your land drop, Warp Mightform Harmonizer. This is a 4/4 that says landfall. Whenever a land enters, double the power of target creature you control until end of turn. Conveniently, also has 4 power. Guess what has crew 4? Lumbering World Wagon. So you tap the Harmonizer, crew the wagon, play your land for turn, right? Presumably it's turn 4. This is your your 4th land. So the Lumbering World Wagon has 4 power. Now it has 8 power. And then when you go to combat, you attack with the wagon, which, guess what? Searches for a land, which makes it 9 power, and then it doubles to 18. If you include a Fable Passage in the mix, you can actually get to, I think it's like 38 or something like that. So that is sort of the combo that we are going for here. Lumbering World Wagon plus Mightform Harmonizer. Now, certainly you can't just build a deck with 4 wagon, 4 Harmonizer, and 52 lands, so we need something else. And, it's a green deck, so we have Badger Cub. Jokes aside, it is just an extremely powerful mana engine not even when just by itself. You don't even need to combine it with Llanowar Elves. Even if you have nothing on turn 1 and Cub on turn 2, that still provides you 4 mana on turn 4, or turn 3 rather, excuse me. So, but it also happens to work very well with Llanowar Elves. Now, there is another mana dork that the Simic decks typically play, which is Gene Pollinator. We're actually opting to go for Molt Tender here, which is kind of weird because you need to exile a card from your graveyard in order to make mana. But the supplemental engine to the combo is Ice-Till Explorer. And the reason Ice-Till is so powerful in this deck is because it allows you to make extra land drops, which is nice with stuff like Harmonizer and Wagon. But also, when you're making extra land drops, especially with Fable Passage, you're milling a lot of cards. So not only does that help facilitate Molt Tender, but you can also play a bunch of cards with Flashback. So we have 4 Esper Origins and 3 Winternight Stories. Both of these can be cast from the graveyard. Stories drawing 3 cards, Origins getting a 4/4 body that scries 2, and then if the top card is a permanent, you can also put that into your hand. So it gives you this really powerful draw engine with Ice-Till Explorer that sort of helps complement the main combo engine, because Ice-Till providing extra land drops, even if you don't have a Lumbering World Wagon, there's various points, spoiler alert, in this video where we just have a 2-power creature in play, Ice-Till with Harmonizer, and then a Fable Passage. So you get to play the Fable Passage twice, once for turn and then as an additional land drop with Ice-Till. So the first time you get 2 triggers off Harmonizer, it doubles twice from 4 to 8. And then the second time with Passage, you play it again, 16 to then 32 power. And that's just with a 2-power creature. So you can kind of see how this deck gets to go so explosive so fast, and that's sort of what Ice-Till allows you to do. The other thing that we kind of need is a way to give trample, right? Because Mightform Harmonizer makes your creature have an obscene amount of power, but if they just have a chump blocker, perhaps even a chump blocker that comes back to the battlefield, we kind of need a way to punch through that. So we have 5 ways to provide trample. 3 Hunter's Talon, which acts as a removal spell, and then once you get to level 2, you can give an attacking creature +1/+0 in trample. Herd Heirloom, which is a sort of a mana rock, but also you can tap to give a creature trample and draw an extra card whenever that creature deals damage. And then 1 Earthbender Ascension, which is sort of a hybrid trample enabler, but also a threat in and of itself, because you can Earthbend 2, and then it also finds you more land drops. So it gives you an extra trigger off Harmonizer, mills more cards with Ice-Till Explorer, so on and so forth. And that's it. That's the entire deck list. It's sort of a nice, neat little package To be honest with you, you probably could splash a different second color because, as you'll notice, Stories is the only blue card in the main deck. This is mostly a mono green deck. So if you decided you wanted to play, black or red for some removal spells, maybe white for some better sideboard cards, you could certainly explore different options as long as you kind of, make sure you keep the Wagon, Cub, Ice Till, Harmonizer, engine intact. Everything else is sort of up for grabs here. I mentioned the Fable Passages and the Mana Base. The Conduit Pylons look a little weird, but the nice thing about Pylons is that if you play turn 1 Molt Tender into turn 2 Pylons, no matter what card is on top, you put it into the graveyard, and now you've sort of created your own Llanowar Elf. So that lets you play, turn 2 World Wagon, which is kind of nice. And then as far as the sideboard is concerned, some Graveyard Hate, some counter spells, some disenchants, a couple of bounce spells. Nothing too crazy going on in the sideboard, but just wanted to kind of highlight this new combo. And to be honest with you, I was very impressed the way that this deck played out. And again, I think that there's a bunch of different variations and ways you can utilize this shell. So, this is sort of try it for yourself at home and try and explore some different options. So that's all I got for the deck tech. And without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Fear of missing out. Little delirium shenanigans, maybe. Oh, this might have been a spot where I was supposed to do the passage trick, right? Yeah, that probably would have been better to do the passage trick there. Subfocus is nice, yeah. Yeah. Because that would have given me an extra... Well, I mean, it is still probably better to do it this way if they don't kill the Cub, right? The trick is to use Earthbend on your Fabled Passage so that when you sacrifice it, it comes back to the battlefield. So it basically gives you a guaranteed mana if your Cub dies. But in the situations where your Cub doesn't die, it's kind of the same thing. I don't know what I want to do this turn. Kind of just want to double Esper, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm just going to double Esper. And just try and dig for Harmonizer. Esper gives me a better blocker this turn, too. I could keep a second Cub. Yeah, let's keep a second Cub. It's just so much mana next turn. So much mana. Worlds is standard, yeah. I believe it's standard and limited. I think it's draft plus standard. Ice Till. So, Cub first. And then we go... Ice Till. Play land. This is basically just looking for more copies of Origins. That works too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 8 mana. So with 8 mana, I can go I guess we just go Origins first. Because we're gonna Origins for sure anyways. Yeah, probably keep Talon, because then I can kill the Roid this turn. And then we can go blue, tap this. Discard Tender. And then tap these. Hunter's Talent. I think maybe I could have done something a little better, but I feel like it's probably fine. Go. And then we just get to use the chapter 3 of Summon. Yeah, they're just dead next turn to the summons, right? That was kind of hot. I mean, we didn't even draw the combo that game. It was just they just got soloed by Badger Bull Cub, right? Like that's the perfect example. I mean, the summons were good. Like summon really nice, especially with Ice Tilt too. All right, what do we do against Delirium? Definitely Lantern. Kind of think it's just Lantern. Ascension slow. Maybe like Trim a Stories, Trim an Ice Still. So I think we'd have to go back to the Dragonhawk version. Like the Dragonhawk plus Roaming Throne version, but that would be fine because, you know, that version's still fine. We're not really doing deck techs anymore, Seth, but if you want to put a list in chat, I can maybe take a look at it, but I don't know. I don't want to do like we're not doing formal deck techs anymore. Just takes too much time out of the stream. Honestly, you're better off just putting it in the Discord, and I can like look at it later tonight. Just want to keep the stream flowing, if you know what I mean. Yes, we would definitely be playing Cub and Battlecrier. I don't know if Battlecrier would want 2 mana dorks, but maybe it would. God, Breakout into Cub is so sick. Okay. Do we just try and set up an OTK? There's almost no way that it works, right? Am I dying next turn, though? I'm kind of not dying next turn, am I? You know what? Let's go for it. I don't think this is the correct line, but it's definitely the content line. Go. I technically don't need the elf. Like, I could chump block with the elf, so... It's nice because we also have the talent, too. So if they only hold back 1 blocker, we can just kill their blocker with talent. So they have to hold back 2 blockers here. I feel like there's no way they'd do that, you know? Surely they wouldn't hold back 2 blockers this turn, right? Yeah, this is similar to what you sent last night, Seth. I still feel like Quintorius is kind of weird. Like, I kind of get what you're doing, but it's a weird one for sure. Definitely a weird one. Oh, are we just dead? Sorcery creature instant? 7, 8. That's fine. Ah, not getting sniped. See, I knew they weren't sniping. Now you get to see the combo. I didn't even need a fetch land, but, you know. Combination gaming. Take 42. Now do you see the combo, by the way? Now do you see the combo? We have half of the combo. #1 Creed fan. I kind of am, actually. Yeah, the playlist is like a box of chocolates. But yeah, Seth, it's hard for me to give you advice on that deck. Like, is Quintorius better than Elspeth? I feel like it's not. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to play some kind of big Planeswalker to finish off, I think you're better off playing Elspeth. So, like, Seam Rip, Helix, Fire Magic, Ultima, you can use that as your core. Couple of Elspeths. I guess you're using Roku's for card advantage, because you're cutting the blue cards. I guess that kind of makes sense. My sacrifice. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. I should probably do that. I should definitely do that, shouldn't I? It's true, can't beseech for Elspeth. I also think that the split card removal spells are probably just worse than more Helixes or, like, I don't know, Bitter Triumph or Shoot the Sheriff, you know? Stuff like that. D-Liv, thank you for the 37-month resub. Anti-Cubs sideboard tech. Yeah, dude, I fuck with 4 Deathmark. Don't get me started on Deathmark. This is just more proof that it literally doesn't matter what you're casting off Cub. Like, you could just cast a ham sandwich. Like, you can cast Ouroboros, you can cast Esper Origins, you can cast fucking Beseech the Mirrors and... Well, maybe not Beseech the Mirrors and Phoenix Fleet Airships. Let's not go that far, but... I kinda wish I had a fetch land. I mean, I have to kill their Cub, obviously. What am I doing? What else am I doing? Just playing a wagon? Yeah, I guess we're just playing a wagon. Speaking of pump it up, should I turn this song up? All right, I've answered your first 2 Cubs. You got a third one for me? You got a third one for me? Just a 1-3. I could beat a 1-3. Can I beat a 1-3? Can I actually beat a 1-3? Maybe I spoke too soon. I mean, we just need the Dig 4 Harmonizer. These are not harmonizers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, definitely do this. Do I even bother taking land? I do kind of don't mind having a land to cast the Esper Origins, so I guess that's fine. And then we can go play Pylons. Oh, well, that works. So, in that case, we should just not attack, right? So maybe we level up talent here, so we don't have to level it next turn. And then just pass. Yeah, this works. Although we don't have any lands, right? How are we... How am I triggering the Might Form Harmonizer? I guess I can play Ice Till and then play land from the graveyard. Yeah, that works, right? But then I still kind of have to hit another land. I have to mill a second land. So, right, because I go Ice Till Harmonizer. Ice Till Harmonizer, that gets me to 5, 10, and then I can get to 22. Oh, yeah, I can just get to 22, right? But they can just, yeah, if they hold back the Ouroboros, they have 14 toughness. So that's 8, 12. I guess we still have 16 with the other creatures, huh? And stories. Oh, I get mana off Meduin. I forgot about that. Okay. The mana off Meduin is big. I forgot about that. So we should go blue. I'm going to make sure that I don't get auto-tapped here. Hold control. Because I need to leave the blue floating. Actually, I'll leave a blue and a green floating, right? Yeah, this works. No, I messed up! I forgot to crew! No! Whoops. Shit. I forgot to crew. XDD. Oops. I got too excited. I was doing too many things. Yeah, I'm gonna crew now so I don't forget. I'm sorry. I can still stories though, right? We can stories and tap the Ice Till. And then just find lands. Okay, that's good enough. That is good enough. I figured it out, chat. I have figured it out. Pump. Bump, bump, bump it up. Bump, bump, bump it up. Bump, bump, bump it up. I would like to make a 56 power trampler. Okay, they figured it out. Woo! We got there in the end. That's what matters. I could have actually made a... So what was it, 56? I could have made 112 if I had crewed first. All right, what do we do against the other Cub deck? Mono green Cub, to be precise. Do I even sideboard? Maybe bounce off? See? See? Hey, that's not an elf. Hey, you can't play that. Opponent did not get the memo. Innkeeper's talent. I think I'm going to kill the Paw Patch instead of playing second Cub. Yeah, I'm going to kill the Paw Patch. Maybe saving talent for like an Ouroborid is better, but I don't really have a creature that can fight Ouroborid. Especially with the talent in play. Because the turn they play, if they play Royd on curve, Royd goes to... Royd is a 4/6. So I'd have to have a 6 power creature. Oh, I drew a Stone Rain. That's nice. Stone Rain secured. I do have to pay the 1, though. I guess I'll pay the 1. I'll pay the 1. Go. Your turn. We're playing Simic. I'm playing Simic combo, okay? There's a big difference between Simic aggro and Simic Splinter Twin. I would like to let the record show that, you know, big difference. At least that's what I tell myself, you know? That's how I convince myself to keep playing these Ouroboros decks. End step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Well, I mean, they're just going to trade if I attack, so I guess I just won't attack. This is 4 mana. So I'll do this. You ever just crew pass? I think that's what I'm doing, right? Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. The old crew pass. It's a weird spot, but can start milling with Tender to try and find either stories or origins. I do like that. The fact that you have some self-mill to set up to find stories and origins. That is kind of cool. Ain't blocking. 8 blocking. Splinter Twin is the combo of killing them on turn 3? Yeah, well, you know. I wasn't doing that enough in my Simic deck as is. That's why I, had to add more Splinter Twins. Do we have Nature's Rhythm? No, but we have Esper Origins and Winter Night Stories. So I do always want to mill anyways for those cards. Dude, Origins and Origins, talk to me. I don't know if you guys know how good it feels to to Origins into Origins, but this is just GG, right? I guess they could have a Disenchant. Yeah. They don't die if they have a Disenchant, but they got something. They got something. Combat. Combat. Is there like an instant speed fight spell that I'm not thinking of? Put a counter on a creature, deals damage against a parent creature you don't control. I see. Rude but fair. Rude but fair. So they take 5. Let me just Esper again. Do we want this Ice Tail? Ice Tail can try to find more Espers or the draw spell. It's probably right keeping it, right? Oh, that's a good point too, because we can Ice Tail fetch land with the Harmonizer. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Keeping it's definitely good. Yeah. Yeah, because we can just hardcast the Harmonizer next turn, and then just go Ice Tail with double Fable Passage. Yeah. We could just make a bunch of lethal things. I mean, honestly, yeah, we can just go, like, Ice Tail fetch land, get these both to 16. Just I think we can probably make, like, 3 lethal attackers next turn. I mean, I'll happily trade for one of these. I don't need 2 summons. Sure. I have 2 passage though, right? Yeah, so they're just dead. I should have milled, but... Ice 2! Can this deck run without Cub? I mean, technically it can run without Cub, but you definitely shouldn't play it without Cub. You know what I mean? Like, technically, yes, you can play it without Cub, but, I mean, no. I should actually retract that statement now. But I would like to see what was the average price of decks prior to the release of Final Fantasy. the Domain Gruul Mice blue-black Esper format. I don't recall what the average price was, but I feel like it was still somewhat high, right? Yeah, it was Shieldred. But Domain didn't play Shieldred. What was expensive in Domain, if anything? I guess Overlords and Zur were kind of expensive. Zur was like 20 bucks at one point, I think. Yeah, Traxa too. Oh, right. The Triomes were also still legal and expensive. Yeah, okay. I forgot weren't the Triomes got to like 25 or 30 bucks at one point, I think. So yeah, I mean, it's just like people say, people look at, the price of a Simic deck and they're like, $400 or $500. But that's the reality is that's just kind of the way that it's been for a while. Like Standard has just been an average $350 to $400 format for quite some time. It's just been like that for a while. I know, I wish I had bought them on release day too. Yeah, Demir's only 250. That blue-white deck that we've been playing is, I think, like... I'm pretty sure that the blue-white Momo deck that we've been playing is like a shitload of money, but that's only because of the Riddlers. And Riddler is like stupid expensive. But Riddler's also not expensive because of Standard. This is not... I would say this is not going well. Not really doing a good job of setting up the combo. Some of the Simic decks have been playing Riddler. The version of Simic that we were playing the other week had Riddler and the Leyline Weaver. And those two kind of work together. Just like Riddler to untap the Weaver and stuff like that. Otters, otters, otters. I don't really know what my plan is. Really don't know what my plan is here. Plan is probably just die, but... I guess I should probably kill an otter? Okay, that kind of helps. That kind of helps. Maybe if I can just keep them off creatures for a little bit, I can eventually find an Ice Till Explorer and then try to one-shot them with Ice Till Might Form. Okay. Turns out that might not be, that may not be a possibility if they're main-phasing Bloodcaller. Yeah. Just dead to Boomerang, right? Yeah, dead to Boomerang. GG. Okay. Well, plan did not work out so well. Bounce Off is good against the Badger Moles. Well, they may not have Badger Mole, but it's still good against the Otters, too, I think. Good enough. Like Tishana's. I definitely want Scrap Shooter. I don't know if I want Lanterns. Man, I really don't want to cut a lot of these cards. We may just cut Winter Night Stories and just try to be a little leaner. Let's try that. Well, this hand does have the combo. The classic combo. Having not played Standard for a long time, we obviously did the Boomerang basics. So, Boomerang, Vitality lets other creatures tap for mana. Flood Caller says whenever you play a spell, you untap all of your otters and rats. And then... Oh, fuck. Do I want to exile the Origins? I think I do. So yeah, that's basically what it is. They, let me get a forest. They, they get to loop the Boomerang over and over. Because they tap their 3 creatures for mana. Boomerang, bounce talent, untap. Tap their 3 creatures for mana. They have 5 mana. Level up talent, get back Boomerang. 1 mana floating, Boomerang, bounce talent. And they can just do that over and over and over again. An infinite number of times. God, having to exile the Origins was kind of awkward, but I think I had to play the wagon at the time. It does feel kind of bad now, though. Mark Chalice, thank you for the 42-month resub. I appreciate that. Thank you, Chalice. Welcome back. Appreciate the resub. Who's going to be the first 67-month subscriber? That's what I want to know. Somebody's got to be close.
That's rough, buddy.
I feel like this is not how the game is supposed to be going. Something tells me that we're supposed to draw spells. Ghost Vacuum. It's an okay draw. I don't know why they would exile the land there. It's pretty obvious I only have lands in my hand. Because they get punished if I mill over at Origins. I don't know if it's going to matter, but seems like it's probably not going to matter. If you're into that, next time we play Pioneer, we can do Flood Caller combo. We get Retraction Helix, Mox Amber, and Mutavault. Yeah, I've tried that deck in Pioneer before. Nice mana, by the way. Yeah, the Winter Knight. So it's a little better in this version when you have Winter Knight and Esper Origins. I mean, this hand, like, just doesn't do anything. Okay. Best hand so far. I almost feel like with this hand, I think I put back Moltender. Maybe it's Esper Origins. Because I'm definitely keeping 2 lands, Ice Till, Badger Mole. One of these 2 has to go. Keeping Tender kind of has more upside if I can find one of the Surveil lands or a Fabled Passage. Yeah, I'll do this. I think this is fine. I mean, currently the Moltender's not doing much, but I guess I can do something on turn 3. Where I go like turn 2 Cub, mill a card, turn 3, then the Moltender's online. I guess that's fine. Yay. It's not great for me. The wagon. Wagon. Bro, stop. Stop killing my things! That's rough, buddy. Opponent's a meanie. I mean, that's a good hit. Okay. This ain't your grandma's Simic deck, though. Opponent, do you play cards in your deck that don't read destroy target creature? Do you have any of those in your deck whatsoever? They played Split Up. Dude, come on, that's the same thing, alright? You and I both know that's the same thing, okay? Stop killing my shit! Ooh. Now they don't want to kill my shit, huh? I mean, I wish I had more to do, but... 5, 8, 9, 2... Okay. So... I think I'd rather... I'm basically choosing to give up a damage for a Surveil. That's kind of what I'm doing here. Because I know I could play the Pylons first, but... Yeah, see, I was going to die anyways. That's a good one to graveyard. Could do that next turn. Draw a card. Okay. Kind of doing all right. Got a bunch of mana in play, stories in the graveyard. I mean, we're going to lose the summon next turn, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, look at their start, right? Like, kill spell into Stark Age, into kill spell into Split Up. I mean, that's just what their deck does. Their entire deck is just all this shit, you know? So, like, I'm not surprised, but... Alright, summon down. Summon down. Guess Elf is free here. It's better to... I don't know if it's better to discard stories here. Because if I keep the stories in hand, then I can just cast it for 3 and then also find a copy of Wagon. So I think I want to do it this way. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. That's kind of nice. Well, let me think about this. So, Icetail Fetch Land Harmonizer with only Elf. How much damage is that? So it's 4 triggers. So it's 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. Plus 1 from the talent is 17. And that's just with the Elf. I mean, I'm gonna decline, right? Just discard these 2 and then keep the creatures in hand. But I can only currently deal them 17. 1 to 2, 2 to 4, go to combat, attack. Oh, because I can get the right. I can get the power from the talent before the other 2 fetches. You're right. Okay, that's a good point. So it's fetch land from grave 1 to 2. Oh. Does that just kill them? I think that just kills them, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that definitely just kills them. That's kind of sicko. They're just dead. Dope. How many fetchables do I have? I have 3 forests. Okay, so we can't mill a land, can we? Right, I don't think I'm allowed to mill a land here. A basic, I should say. But I have to crack... Yeah, I have to sack this one before combat, so I can play the Icetail. Fetch in response to mill. Well, no, because I still have to do it in combat, right? So this is 8, 16, 20. No. Oh, yeah, I can just do it now. So hold control. Well, no, I do it. Yeah, I guess we just do it now. Because then I can just play a non-fetch land, right? Even if I mill a basic. Because this is going to be 16, and then a regular land is 32. Dude. Death by Llanowar Elves. Have you ever taken 64 damage from a Llanowar Elf before? Type 1 in chat if you have. That was kind of nice. That was a swole-ass elf. This is what I'm saying about the Ice Tills, you know? It's like, you don't even need to have a wagon. Sometimes if you just have Ice Till Harmonizer, they just die out of nowhere. Like, you just, some just random-ass body, you know? That's why Ice Till is so fucked up in this deck. A 64-1 Llanowar Elf. Alright, what do we want against artifacts? Artifacts. I know, you didn't kill a 1-1? Alright, you're dead. Thanks for not killing the 1-1. Negate, good. Scrap Shooter, good. I don't know, both of these are kind of reasonable, too. I don't know if I have that many cards to cut, though. Actually, Intrusion sucks against them, right? Because the only thing that it really counters is Battlefront. Yeah, Intrusion kind of sucks. We don't really need Trample against them, do we? Because they're not really providing chump blockers. Like, the creatures they're providing are 7/7s and 8/8s. I think if we've gotten to that stage of the game, it's probably a lost cause anyways. Yeah, that is a good point. I guess the Intrusion can also counter the trigger of Pinnacle Emissary. Maybe that's worth it. I think I'm going to cut all of this. All of the Trample Enablers. Yeah, so it's like, those out for these 6, but what would you cut for the Intrusions? I don't think we need Trample. I really don't think we need Trample. I guess the Heirloom is nice because the Heirloom can just draw cards. So maybe we do something like keep in the 1 Heirloom. Try that. I could shave on Manadorix. Could shave a couple Molts. Because they might also... Oh, you know what? Shaving on Molt was good because they're probably going to board in Rest in Peace. Yeah. Yeah, if we go to game 3, I'll shave a couple Molts. This hand casts turn 2 negate. We are conduiting the pylons. Or something like that. Yeah, nice mana XTD. I could hold him to gate, but... Wait, are they just dead? If they play Synth, are they dead? So Harmonizer with 1 fetch. So I know it's 16, right? Yeah, it's only 16. No! Alright, perhaps I should have held up negate that turn. Perhaps there is a chance I maybe should have held up negate that turn. Would you ever expect your opponent having 2 conduit pylons and a forest to cast negate? Because I sure as fuck wouldn't. Esper or Ice Till this turn? I think Esper... Kind of close, right? I mean, just having a 4/4 in play is better, although this can get Star Caged, but this can't. I would Esper before a second rip. I mean, you could also say the same thing about Ice Tail. Like, Ice Tail getting 2 more land drops in play is pretty big. Or 1 more land drop. I'm an Esper. I'm just gonna assume they don't have second rip. Also, if they had second rip last turn, they would have already played it, so we know they don't have second rip in hand. Yeah, like they could just be dead. Although we did board out a lot of our Trampler enablers, so this would be a reason to have a Trampler enabler. Definitely not dead. Aw. Well, I mean, they didn't have the Rest in Peace in hand. They did draw it. So we have 7 mana. I'm not sure what to do here. I kind of need to kill the Rest in Peace, don't I? Maybe not. Maybe I just ignore the Rest in Peace and hope to draw a land? Right? But then it makes me need to draw a land if I do that. Yeah, I'm thinking about killing Bay. Although, what 4 am I scared of? You know? Like, if they're not just going to sack their Star Cage, because they don't have a lot of good 4s. Yeah, the ship doesn't matter, though, because the ship is not blockers next turn. If they get shipped, they're just dead. I'm going to kill the Rest in Peace. It's very, very close, but I'm going to kill the Rest in Peace. And just deal them 8. And then this goes into exile next turn. We can go... I guess... problem is we're not going to have enough mana to go Harmonizer and Ice Tail next turn. Because the only reason I had extra mana this turn was the boost from Summon. Maybe it was better to play the Ice Tail that turn instead of Harmonizer. I don't know, it's close. Should have hardcast Harmonizer? Well, that's worse if they have a sweeper. If they have, like, Day of Judgment or something. But that could have been a reason to hardcast Harmonizer. I just hope they didn't have a Wrath. But, like, I still have to draw a land anyways, even if I hardcast the Harmonizer. Because I don't have a graveyard right now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll take a fetch land. Okay, that was just a spew. I don't know why they did that. I think it was gonna die anyways. Opponent? Okay, no land's kind of rough, but... if we draw a fetch land next turn... they can sack it now. Guess that's a good point. Yeah, they can sack the Saw Blades now. So it wasn't for no value. Yeah, now they get Snare. I think we're cooked now. Seems like we are cooked. Very, very much so. Yeah, alright, game 3. Game 3. Let's cut at least 2 of these against the Rips. Keep in... do I even want to keep in Talents? Maybe the Ascension is good against Rip. It kind of helps, right? I don't think I want to cut all of them. I did cut 2 of them, though. I think cutting 2 makes sense. Just do, like, Ascension Talent. Try that. Share the $1 billion. Bro, I don't know what kind of money you think certain streamers make, but I definitely do not have $1 billion. This is my 6. I can't keep this. Okay. I mean, just put back the reactive cards and pray to God they don't have anything. This hand just has to cross its fingers. What if they just didn't have a kill spell? They probably do. High likelihood they have a kill spell. Is Glass Casket still legal? I think it was in Foundations. Or maybe not Foundations, but it might have been in Wilds of Eldraine. I think it might still be legal. Yeah, Wilds. I guess keeping Surveil Land was better there. Simulacrum Synthesizer. Stories is good. Just being able to, like, dump extra lands to then replay with Ice Tail. I mean, it's got to be Ice Tail this turn, doesn't it? It just has to be. Ice Tail into Surveil Land. Don't want that. We just need a way to give Trample. Or just hope they miss on Battlefront, which they're not casting. I guess we can kill them if we find Scrap Shooter to kill their blocker. Scrap Shooter would do it, I think. No, because I guess we need a fetch land, don't we? Yeah. They're at 16. We can go Harmonizer into Flashback Stories, leaving a green open. And then just go from there. I don't really know what we can find. I guess we can find... Oh, you know what we could find? We could find Hunter's Talent. I think that would kill them. Yeah, I think Hunter's Talent would kill them. That's close. I don't think it quite does it, though. So discard Wagon Land. They're at 16. It's really, really close. So I guess if we mill a fetch land, I think that's lethal, right? We have to mill a fetch land, though. So I guess we should Pylons. Because we get 2 looks at a fetch land. Double the Cub. No, not quite. Yeah, so I play 1 more land. I can kill this, but I only hit them for 10. So at that point, is it even worth casting... Is it even worth casting the Scrap Shooter? Might not be, right? Yeah, I can Wagon here to force the trade of Cub for the 4/4 token. Maybe that's just better. Save the Scrap Shooter for next turn. I feel like that might just be better, right? I mean, I could also just shoot her to kill one of the synthesizers. It's gonna be tough, man. This is really tricky. Beating 2 synthesizers is so difficult. I'm gonna Wagon. Wagon's also nice because it's a threat that stays in play if they have a sweeper. And again, it does force the trade. And now the question is, do we play around Split Up? It doesn't matter, right? Because this is going to be traded for and this is going to go to exile. So this is going to be my only creature anyways. So the attack is free. Yeah, Split Up doesn't matter because this goes away. All right. Do your worst. Do your worst. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a world where we keep the wagon and we find a way to give trample and we can play. Probably can't play through synthesizer tokens, right? Even if I find a trample enabler. Maybe if they only make 2 tokens. Okay. They're not only making 2 tokens. Definitely not only making 2 tokens. Oh no! We are 1 card short. Oh my god, we were so close, man. Nah, Scrap Shooter has reach, not trample. We're so close. Maybe there's still a way I can do this. Okay, hold on. Let me cook. Let me cook. Let me cook, chat, alright? We need to mill over stories. Okay. We mill stories, and then stories finds Hunter's talent. That's the play. Look, we have an out, okay? It's not very likely, but there's an out. No! I needed that! Okay, mill stories, mill stories, mill stories, mill stories, mill stories. Bro, come on. You gotta work with me here, man. You gotta work with me. Come on, stories. Stories! Stories! Fuck. Ah, man. We tried. I tried. Stories into talent would have done it. It is 5/12, though. What would talent do? Talent gives trample. The chapter 2 gives trample to an attacking creature. So this would have been lethal if I found talent. For 4 mana. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't have enough mana for talent. Right. I would still be 2 mana short. I guess that's a good point. Yeah. So it wouldn't have mattered. So I guess I didn't. Oh no, the only out then, I had the heirloom, right? Heirloom would have done it. Yeah, the 1 heirloom. Yeah. I guess we can like hope they have nothing left, but I don't think there's much difference between 3 and 4 synthesizers. I might just be dead, right? I think I might just be dead. But I can make a 2048 Ice-Tail Explorer. Bet you never seen that before. Alright, I make a 2048 power creature, and then it's your turn. I'm just dead. I only see 9/9s. If they have 5 lands in their hand, we're not dead. That's not 5 lands. Alright, well, I tried. I tried my best. But my best was not good enough.